potholes. They're everywhere. And here you can see that they've been repaired, and where it's been repaired, there's another pothole. So I just saw in the news this morning, the latest thing that I've seen is that they are now talking about a supersized tax, if you like, on larger cars. Cars or motorists would get more tax to make them pay for repairs to potholes. Seriously? Does it make sense? Let's get into it right after this.
A brown car guy. Brown car guy.
Right, so should supersized, larger sized cars, pay more in tax in order to cover the cost of repairing potholes? Which surely whoever's in charge of the roads should be doing anyway. I mean, at the end of the day, oh my God, yes, potholes are an absolute nightmare. They are the bane of motorist lives in the UK, and they cause upteen amount of damage to cars. But the thing with stories like this, what is so frustrating about them is that instead of addressing the actual cause or the real problem here, there just seem to be ways of finding yet more ways to penalize and punish drivers that are already suffering because of the potholes in the first place. Campaigners reckon that slapping extra taxes on larger vehicles will somehow magically fix the roads. I mean, forgive me for begging to differ there. Now, let's look at the situation when it comes to taxation and the motorist. You buy a car, you pay VAT, you pay tax on top of the tax, you pay road tax, then you pay tax to drive it, then you pay for the insurance, then you pay for the tax on the fuel, you pay for the tax on the electricity. I mean, it's just tax on tax on tax. I mean, it's just absolutely getting ridiculous. And when you talk about larger cars, let's hit larger cars with more tax because they're causing damage to the roads. Well, firstly, effectively, larger cars do pay more tax simply by the fact that larger cars tend to have larger engines. So if you have larger engines, you're inevitably paying more tax anyway. And then of course talk inevitably turns to, well, let's get EVs to pay more because EVs are heavier, they're bigger, they've got bigger batteries. Generally EVs can be heavier, there's no question about that. But when you talk about heavier, you're talking about 2 tons, 2.5 tons. Don't forget the Land Rover Discovery, when that came out, that was 2 tons, over 2 tons. So yeah, SUVs, normal SUVs, i.e. internal combustion engine SUVs, have been that heavy for a while, long before EVs were on the scene. But yes, EVs can be heavier, but EVs are also being hit with a tax this year. There's a new tax that's hit them. So all of a sudden they're not tax exempt anymore. They also have to pay tax, first year rate of £10, £195 annually. And of course, don't forget that most EVs are over £40,000. And if you buy a car over £40,000, you also pay luxury car tax. So you pay yet another tax on that. And that's quite a lot, £400+. So that's quite a lot. And where does it leave the situation for newer drivers? I mean, younger drivers, they're just getting hit by cost after. Have you seen the cost of driving lessons these days? Never mind actually trying to get hold of a driving test, a test date. That's quite hard enough. And then if they do manage to pass, good for them. But then good luck to them insuring a car. Never mind buying a car, insuring a car. It's so expensive for younger people. It's almost prohibitive. You can't actually blame younger people for having lost interest in cars and driving these days. It's just too prohibitively expensive for them. It's absolutely crazy. But here's the thing, when we're talking about larger vehicles causing damage on the roads, it's not so much the cars, no matter which car you're talking about. The damage on the roads is actually coming from much heavier vehicles. We are talking HGVs, lorries, heavy goods vehicles, stuff like that. The reality is that there is data and studies that prove that the heaviest HGV can cause 100 to 150,000 times, 100 to 150,000 times more damage to the tarmac than a normal car ever could. And that's quite simply a fact. And yet we're talking about, oh, let's tax cars, let's tax drivers more. Sorry, what? And And actually, you don't even need studies or research to show you that. If you've driven on the motorway, then you'll know that, people always say, stay on the left side of the motorway. You don't want to stay in the left lane of the motorway because the ride in the left lane is terrible. Why is it terrible? Because the tarmac there has been ruined by the constant pounding along it of HGVs. There's evidence right there. That's what actually happens. Hey, before I carry on, make sure that you have hit like and don't forget to share and subscribe. By the way, help out my channel by supporting me on Patreon and Ko-fi, or by taking out a subscription right here on YouTube. Or better still, buy my books. I've got 3 of them out now. There's 2 of them. Those are fiction. One is a novel. It's the novel that every petrolhead should read. It's called The Ulysses Files. It's about the war on motorists. And the other one is a collection of my short stories from over 2 decades. Everything from science fiction to cars to the state of humanity. And then this is my latest book. This is basically me putting my 35 years of experience and knowledge doing what I do into a book to help other people get into this game. So if you've ever thought about being a content creator, a journalist, or an influencer to do with cars, you need to get this book. It's out now on Amazon. But then let's look at potholes. What actually causes potholes, right? And what's really causing them? So it's a mixture of factors, right? It's weather conditions, it's poor road maintenance, it's subpar construction materials, and what actually happens is that water then seeps into cracks. You can see cracks on the tarmac. Water seeps into cracks, freezes, expands, repeat, and eventually it breaks up that tarmac, it falls apart, and you get that. So a little more detail on this. Small cracks in the road surface are the starting point. They're caused by wear and tear from traffic, aging asphalt, and poor construction. Water seeps into these cracks, and in colder climates it freezes and expands, further widening those cracks. The repeated freezing and thawing of water in the cracks causes the road surface to weaken and eventually break apart. Right? Heavy traffic that's passing over these weakened areas, so it's only then that the heavy traffic has a role to play. Heavy traffic passing over the weakened areas of the road causes the pavement to break down and form these potholes. Insufficient drainage can lead to water pooling on the road surface, which can then seep into this crack. So this is further, better drainage would help. Other factors include poor road maintenance, substandard materials. Environmental cracking can also contribute to pothole formation. You could do things like have enhanced repair techniques. So semi-permanent repairs. This method involves cleaning the pothole, shaping its edges, applying a tack coat, filling it with asphalt mix, and compacting it. This approach ensures a durable repair. You can have a spray injection patching, utilizing specialized equipment. This cleans the pothole with high pressure air, applies a tack coat, and then fills it with aggregate and asphalt. You can have infrared thermal patching. This method heats the existing asphalt, allowing new material to seamlessly integrate with the old, resulting in a joint-free, watertight repair. You can have this preventative stuff that you can do. Regular crack sealing. So you can seal the cracks. This prevents water from actually infiltrating in the first place, so that's helpful. We're reducing the risk of actually then it breaking apart. Have a proper drainage system, so make sure the water gets away from the tarmac. It doesn't stand there, it doesn't seep into the cracks. Routine pavement assessments, regular surveys to help identify early signs of distress. And then there's innovative experimental stuff that you can also do. Polymer modified asphalt, PMA. Incorporating polymers enhances asphalt elasticity and resilience, extending the pavement life and reducing maintenance needs. Self-healing materials. There's research into materials that can autonomously repair minor cracks, and this shows promise. Adding capsules containing rejuvenators to asphalt to enable the material to heal itself. Wow, some sci-fi there. And talking of sci-fi, there's also a possibility of using robotics and AI. Development of autonomous robots equipped with AI that can detect and repair road defects autonomously. So this is the thing. There are things that can be done rather than just constantly finding motorists to blame and penalizing motorists as well. At the end of the day, you're just squeezing drivers for more and more cash. And ultimately, here's the thing. Think about it this way. You could do that. You could find drivers, get more money, get all the money, fix all the potholes, and what will you end up with? A situation where you fixed all the roads and there's nobody there to use them. Why? Because nobody can afford cars or driving anymore, because they've paid to fix the potholes. I I've run out of words on this subject. I'll leave you to comment in the comments below, as I'm sure you will. And don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Shout out time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, if you enjoy my content, why not get involved? Buy me a coffee. You can do that at either of these links, or if you're watching on YouTube, buy me a thanks or take out a membership. It all helps. It really does.